Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Jody Bear, and welcome to our fourth season of Healthopedia 365. If you don't know, I am Dr. Jody Bear, your holistic practitioner and coach. But right now, I'm your mindset coach for today on Healthopedia 365. Just take a moment and go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and share. And for those of you that don't know me, I have been for 49 years, almost in my fifth decade. I don't mind telling you that I'm 71 and 7/8. Truly, this has been a remarkable journey. When I can say during my practice, when I retired, and in that 4 decades, that I had 35,000 of my client patients lose 1.1 pounds of toxic fat lost with a 5% recidivism rate, because it was natural, it was holistic, it was that foundational health coaching in all 6 areas of health. It just works. Spiritual, then it goes to mental, emotional. That's why it's Mindset Monday. Mental, then emotional, physical, financial, and social. We're going to hit on several of these now, but this is a monumentous day on our 4th season, kicking this off, but also because last year at this time, we released our book for President Trump's inauguration, the Little Mega Quote Book for the Big American Dream. It was given to all the VIPs. And I remember that our client that got us in there, the incomparable Eric Zender, known as the Quote Master, when he approached Elon Musk about this book, he said, and actually, I'm going to backtrack. It wasn't about this book. Eric, who is 6'9", looking at Elon, and he said, "What was your favorite gift from the inauguration?" He goes, "This little book, because it reminded me of the golden books that I read at night when I was in South Africa." You can't get this one online because it was a limited edition, but you can get the quintessential quotes for healthy living. That is the book that we did this last year. And after that, we just decided, let's put all the Healthopedia people in this book. And I'm going to change screenshots so you can see it. It's the one to the bottom left with a quote master and all of our 82 people, our 82 authors with their quotes, quintessential quotes and quips, some stories for healthy living. Well, you're going to get some quotes today from Lisa Bischoff. You're going to get some quips, but you're going to get heart, soul, passion, not only from the physical realm, the social realm of what she's doing to impact humanity, but definitely mindset, physical. As I said, being a bodybuilder, I just wore my sleeves so I had fluffy arms just like her. Thought that would make a difference. But what we're doing here is just bringing quality of life and quality to humanity. I can truthfully say that this week, heading on out and knowing that Ron Gurley will be our first guest on Life's Milkshake Moments, 6 p.m. Eastern. I call him the crazy chemist. He has formulated more products even than Dr. Jim and I. And his Curcumin Pro, what he's done for diabetic, insulin-resistant diabetics, and everything to get them to something natural will be an absolute amazing physical pillar show on Thursday. But more than anything, I want to thank you for making this our 4th season. I want to thank you to all of the sponsors. As we say, just like NPR, that it's only through how do we do this? Through our kind sponsors, people that see that we have value. And so I'm going to put this up right now and say thank you in 2024 to all of our sponsors with Healthopedia Network. Healthopedia 365. You know, I'm down here in South Florida now. I relocated. So we are getting picked up this week on the CBS local affiliate station in Fort Lauderdale. We are still in Orlando. And thanks for being part and sponsoring us and making a difference. Because when you pay it forward, it works. And when you pay it forward, you know that you're going to be just so rewarded on the back end. So as we say, I want to thank another sponsor for being with us for so long. Gloria Kerr's a great client of mine, health coaching client. But what happens oftentimes as your clients become our friends, she's going to be bringing us along and coming with us to Aruba so that she can go ahead and enhance her health as wealth, because your health is your wealth, as you're going to hear from Lisa. It's also when you know how to keep your vitality secure, because your energy is being dispersed. How? Through a savings account, not a checking account. And when you can do that, you will truly be a different person and a better version of you. Gloria has learned that. She has absolutely embodied that. And so I want to thank so much for Gloria Kerrs of Mansions and Manors, brokering out of Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island, Jamestown, Rhode Island, and also out of Beaufort, South Carolina. Thank you, Gloria, for being one of our amazing sponsors. Take a look, take a feel, take a listen.
Gloria Kerrs is the principal broker and founder of Mansions and Manors. 30 years ago, she saw a need for a more intimate, personalized real estate experience, one that feels like working with a private bank. The office of Mansions and Manors in Jamestown, Rhode Island feels like home, just like the communities we serve. We understand the emotional and financial commitment involved in finding the perfect property, and we're here every step of the way. At Mansions and Manors, we don't just help you buy or sell a home. We build lifelong relationships. Let us help make your dream home a reality, one home at a time.
And Gloria does do that, one home at a time. And my wonderful guest here does it one bodybuilder, one transformation at a time. As a transformation specialist, Lisa Bischoff is truly not only just a consultant, but a strategist. She brings detail and loving detail, just like she does to her deltoids, her abs, and her biceps and triceps. All right. She is a TEDx speaker. We're going to bring that up so you can view her beautiful TED Talk. And it was about, and she's learned, some people just stay in their victimhood. No, she has learned how to overcome adversity to help leaders rewrite mindset, reclaim purpose, build their aligned success from the inside out. I've always said that transformation is an inside job. And I've got to use a little play on words. Lisa embodies that. So welcome to Mindset Monday, Lisa.
Hi, Dr. Jody. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, thank you. What a fun thing we've had together ever since October. So the fact that you've got your Fit to Exist, I love the name of yours and Cassandra's company, but we're going to start out with Little Lisa, shall we? And just find out a little bit of how, frankly, that beautiful story of Little Lisa starting out with mindset, because you certainly, it's here, and it's here.
Yeah. So mindset is so critical. Going back to where, my identity as a child was built on how smart I was. I was praised for my academics and everything. And when all of that, my success and everything was taken away in 2007 because of some choices I made when I hacked a database trying to fix a major debt problem of $1 million, my identity crumbled. And at that point, I lost myself and didn't know what to do. And for years, I tried to get on track. I led a double life. And it got really, really challenging up until a couple of years ago. And I started healing, as you said, from the inside out.
Yes. And the whole thing, how many people, and like I say that it being clean is the most important thing, not just in the shower. but leading that double life, how did you deal with that minefield during that time? Because you had to have a great mindset even in the midst of all of that, didn't you?
Yeah. So one of the things I've always I've talked about when I speak is I was great at rationalizing. And when you break up the word rationalize, it's the rational lie. So that was one of the things is I was able to justify everything I was doing. And when I turned that to a healthy mindset, there was a lot of flip that had to happen for that to take place, but it did, and it's possible.
And so I'm going to put this up there that I'm such a wordsmith. I love plays on words, because that to me says it all. Because if you can, as you said, rational lie. And how did you deal with the stress during that time? I mean, it must have been incredible.
Yeah. So back then, and I really, you can see it. So in 2019, that was probably the worst crime I committed. And that was that $600,000 jewelry and diamond heist from a client that I worked for. In my mugshot, I've had people comment and I see it. You can see the oppression and depression and the heaviness just all over me. So I wasn't really handling it that well. I mean, my big thing was never drugs and alcohol. My addiction was expensive, shiny things and trying to sustain a lifestyle, spending way beyond my means. And it did catch up with me. I was medicating. I would drink. I took Xanax at one point. There was a lot of things that I did that were super unhealthy.
Well, but the most important thing, the good news, as I feel like just getting in my check. Yeah, turn it around. I mean, you turned it around, and we'll get into when we had our soulful meeting in Dubai, and it was so amazing to meet you, to experience you, and actually, as I'm going to say, to have you introduce me as the MC. It was so on the fly, but you can see Princess had a way of finding professionals, but you had a way of finding that to turn it around. So what was that thing? Because people are always looking for that thing. What was that thing for you?
Well, it's interesting, like going back, that is a very common question I get, is what turned it around? And mine didn't happen overnight. It was a process, right? It started, like I said, that inner healing that I went through a ministry and started getting healing from the inside. And then I felt great on the inside, but physically I was still heavy. You see, at the time of my arrest, I was 225 pounds and just really heavy.
And you're not like 6'2".
No, 5'5.5" now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like maybe like 80 more pounds than you needed to be, since I'm a weight loss person. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was part of that started with that inner healing. Another big component that changed my mindset was at the sentencing. So in 2019, I was going for my sentencing of possibly 12 years in prison for the crime. It was my third strike. And the judge said something so profound to me. And that was, you're not a bad person, but you did a bad thing. So that was a huge mind shift.
Say that again.
You're not a bad person, but you did a bad thing.
And it's like, I think about the tree of life, and you have the and it goes in, and so there is a part of that of the goddess of mercy and the goddess of severity. You'd already done the severe thing to yourself, but even that judge, there is mercy in everything, and it saw something good in you. What a beautiful thing! And so what was the thing that turned it around?
So after that, I started seeing myself.
I want to rephrase that. How did it turn around when she said that? How did you feel?
At that instant, it was like the judge saw me for more than my worst mistake. That was huge because everybody saw me as this criminal, this felon, this person that was giving a second chance and blew it again.
And so how then? What was the next step and the next step? I feel like we're going up the Lisa ladder here.
Yeah. So that was one of the very first things that happened. And then, I happened to get communication while I was in jail. A friend of mine told me one of the victims had reached out to me. That was another huge thing, that forgiveness, that opportunity to forgive myself. So that was another big component. So the judge giving grace, forgiving myself, and then going on that transformational journey. And that was really huge. People stepped in to start helping me. I was given another chance in so many areas to become a counselor in the ministry I was getting help with. I got to become on staff. People stepped in to help me launch my business, through the entrepreneurial program. And just, it took a team. I didn't get here by myself. My transformation process was because of the people that stepped in and helped me.
And that mindset. And just like I'm going to have a part in a documentary movie that's coming out in April called The Art of Manifestation. And you manifested that. And this is a perfect time. I was going to do it at the beginning, but it's always the perfect time for everything perfect. And as we say, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And you were doing that injustice too. I didn't even plan that. Hello. And it's true that you started to redo that justice for you so you could be everything you meant to be. So I just want to honor Dr. King and everything he was in that short amount of time. Isn't he just an embodiment of, it's not the length of your life, but the life in your years?
Absolutely.
And so for those of you that have taken a day off, I know that there's going to be even more people that are going to be watching this broadcast and rebroadcast. And so the business. So how did you get in? Let's just go one step further before we go ahead and take our next commercial break. But I'd like to go into just how you then, through all of this, you found professional bodybuilding. I mean, you just don't go from Xanax to bodybuilding. That's pretty extreme.
Sure. So I told you I went through that inner healing process, which was a lot of that was the renewing of the mind and healing layer by layer. Once I got through that, I felt healthy on the inside, but I didn't like the way I looked on the outside. And I also didn't know what to do with my life. I'm a, 7-time felon. I'm not employable because of my hacking skills and my background. And so I hired a coach through Tony Robbins, which she changed my life. She helped me look at my fitness goals because I wanted to get back in shape. I missed, having that fit body. I always wanted to compete. And so we started putting plans together and we changed. So my mindset that I've had ever since I was a little girl, and I put it back into like the 3rd grade of always doing, my quote and vow was whatever it takes, good or bad. We changed that to whatever it takes for the good. And that mindset of I can do anything. I truly do believe I am capable of doing anything, which we've seen throughout my life, but I'm going to do it for good. And I'm going to do it to serve and honor God. So.
Well, and you certainly have done that. I mean, that to me, and you can find Lisa on lisabischoff.com, and she's got a lot of things here. And I love that quote. I love that quote because all things, actually, this is my banner verse, is Romans 8:28. All things work together for good. So you made it. All things work together for good, whatever it takes for the good. And you are, so good. So congratulations about that. And I will say that I do have an announcement that we have 2 more spots to fill in Real Men Are Aware, but this is our cover. Lisa, what do you think about this cover? I just had to bring it out, especially because they were holding barbells. What do you think about that?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And real men are aware, and real women are aware too. Now, mark your calendars. This next book, we had to have Ladies Before Gentlemen with the essence of a woman. Now, real men are aware. And I realize we have changed that, tweaked that a little bit. We're just going to use the word "are" because, and we're going to put a little bicep on the front cover. But I like this man because he can be every man. And it always starts, and see what you've said, it always starts with the spiritual pillar of a healthy living. It always starts with the spiritual. When we look at, and I just want to give, because this was a week after our quintessential quotes and quips for healthy living, it starts with the spiritual pillar. It starts that, then you can go into the mental. Unless the spiritual is clean, you cannot go into the mental pillar. Period. So you start with there and you go out. And so just mark your calendars. Our book will go ahead and come out on Father's Day, June 15th. So just get ready. But frankly, our next little quip is all about where are we going? This is how Healthopedia does retreats. And yes, this is what we are going to do in Aruba. And frankly, I just want to let you know, I'm not a bodybuilder, but I went ahead and said, yes, that was me doing that 71-year-old cannonball, Lisa. So be with the pink flamingos, be with the beautiful breeze that they know in Aruba, the white sandy beaches, because it will be absolutely one to remember. Healthopedia 3, I'm absolutely honored to say that only 4 spots remain because we only do this immersion for a few. So if that appeals to you, just go to Healthopedia Retreat. That's on the bottom there, healthopediaretreat.com. But guys, we had kind of a retreat ourselves, didn't we? In Dubai in October. What was your experience just being there in Aruba? Well, not in Aruba. I'm thinking of Aruba in Dubai, and being there at the First Ladies Forum.
Oh my gosh, like it was life-changing. That was a trip of a lifetime for me. I was so thankful, like my niece Cassandra invited me and took me along with her as she was getting to speak on those stages. And oh my gosh, like we got to do the VIP experience. So, I mean, we got there and started with getting to go on a yacht first thing in the morning, and then camel rides in the afternoon, and then dinner in the desert, you know, on the safari. It was absolutely amazing. And the people I got to meet, from you to Princess, Miss Middle East, Miss Universe, you know, we got to hang out at some point with the Emirates. It was amazing. Just a really life-changing trip.
Well, and yeah, I'm going to bring up Princess's quote right now that is in our Essence of a Woman book. Isn't this just so her? A woman is just not the whispers of her soul, but it is an elegant grace that echoes through eternity. And that's what I felt for sure. I was so honored to be the MC. And by the way, you did a really great job on the fly. Princess just knows how to do this, of introducing me. You are a pro. So I mean, it was just that piece. So I will tell you, just get ready. First Ladies Forum is coming back after you go to Aruba with us in March. She will be in Qatar, April 24th to 26th. So let's go do Doha, Qatar. I've seen the pictures. It will be amazing. And just like you being so helpful, I think about Cassandra, because I met her. That FAA thing was going on at the time. What should have been a 16-hour flight was 38 for me. Mm-hmm. And she was so helpful when I was trying to, it wasn't like pronouncing Lisa Jones. These names always kind of in the Middle East have a lot of syllables in them. And she was so helpful. And you were just so warm and loving. And I don't know, what was the time that you do events, Lisa, that you got the fun and then the event? Wasn't that a great switch around?
Oh my gosh, yes. And it built community. That change up was absolutely amazing, because the next day we were all on stage together and we had built that community, and we're there championing each other. It was amazing.
Yes, it was. It was. And I think that before I leave, I got a little surprise for you. So just, you know, I do have a way of doing that. So I just have to put this up here. It is First Ladies Forum. Oh, I have a typo. Okay, we'll get over that. April 24 and 26 at 026. But that's where we'll be at this time. And frankly, it will be just like one of the epic things that Princess always does. And I know that we're going to be there together, but we were together. This is the kind of community we built. Are you ready for my little surprise?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm ready.
Let's take a picture. So what would it be? We've been on a flight for like 18 hours and here we are. So we're going to sit inside. Every time you turn around, what did Princess say? Oh, let's take a picture. You know, and just the way she said, so let's watch it again. This is an inside thing. Oh, well, you're just going to have to put up with it. Princess, this one's for you. Let's take a picture.
I love it.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And what I love is that I honor you for what you've done since then. Becoming a TEDx speaker is no small shakes. I mean, you've done the preparation. Like I said, Princess knew on the fly. Oh, here's Dr. Jody's bio. And you did a great job. You're a pro. but I want to honor you on being a TEDx speaker and whatever. So tell us about that process, and congratulations, as I am going to be bringing this up so you know where to go, so you can watch the entire speech of Lisa. So how did that come about?
Yeah, so it was actually for a couple of years, it was something that I had a goal of achieving, was become a TEDx speaker. I went through a one-day TEDx training a couple of years ago, which taught me about visibility and kind of how to start crafting the talk. And then a friend of mine introduced me into another community. And so I was looking at getting on at the TEDx stage on the East Coast when, after volunteering here at Manitou Springs, Colorado, the curators got to know me and encouraged me to apply to become one of the speakers at this last event. And so that was my journey to kind of get on the TEDx stage. And the journey itself was absolutely amazing. Absolutely loved it.
And I'm hoping that this is coming up, that you can see her. How to con C.O.N, your monster of more. What a title. What a title. And congratulations with that. And I'm going to put up the link. But you have that Colorado way of speaking, as opposed to being Southern, like me, of going ahead. Well, I just set my goal and I did it. I mean, that is something that is an art. That is an art. And so congratulations on that. What tell us about this goal process?
Yeah. So a couple of years ago, for the first time, people call them vision boards. I sat down and I did what I call a prayer board. And so I made a very visual board, but then it was everything that God had put on my heart, and I prayed over it. And then everything happened that year except for the TEDx. It happened this past year in 25, but all the prep was in 24 for that. But my bodybuilding competition, stepping on stage for the first time in July of 24, was on that board. I got to go to Belize that year, for a wellness retreat. Like, all these things that were on this board all came to pass, and I absolutely love it. So I always encourage people, when your goals become visual and real, you accomplish them.
You do. I'm going to say, take a screenshot. This is her YouTube. This is where you can see absolutely the Lisa Bischoff in full view, this Miss TEDx. And doing that, it's just like, okay, I said last year at New Year's Eve with my son and my 3 grandkids, and I said, I will, by next year, be down in South Florida. Now I was looking at a 5,000 square foot house, 2,100 pieces of collectibles in a one-of-a-kind museum pieces from my husband, who's graduated to heaven, and all of this. And I had no clue who the auctioneer was going to be. I had no clue where everything is going to be. And you notice, ladies and gentlemen, I'm down in South Florida. So it's what you can believe after you've conceived it. It's the belief part. Tell us about your belief part in that conceive, believe, and achieve.
Sure. I mean, so a lot of it is it's visualizing, right? So you're talking about manifesting, and I put prayer before everything, but a lot of it is in the mornings is setting that intention and looking at, what is it going to take to accomplish these goals? What actions am I going to take on a daily basis to help me get there? And again, part of it started with volunteering at TEDx, staying in contact with the curators, and then working on and developing my TEDx talk so I was comfortable with it.
And practice makes perfect, with perfect practice. I've got to apologize. I should have asked you for a picture. I have professional pictures, but I omitted a picture of you with bodybuilding. So you just decided, oh, okay, so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna become a bodybuilder. How did that happen? And I want to say, she's gone from being a hacker wanting bright, shiny things to a health hacker. I love that. It's kind of like, I want to get up and dance, turn it around. I can hear that classic song. You really did turn it around. How did that come about? I'm sure it was mindset again, but I want to hear your take on it, please.
Yeah. And that was a process in itself. So it was one day, and this was back in 2021, I kind of hit another rock bottom in my life. And I had drank one week. I went and did a bunch of beer tours and drank a lot, and kind of was just done with myself. And then it was like I snapped out of it all of a sudden and decided I want to be healthy. So again, going through the ministry, the inner healing, and putting a plan together with my coach, I went back to my trainer that I've known for over 25 years. And he invited me to come back in and start training with him. And I slowly started dropping weight. I wasn't perfect with my diet at first. I was just getting into the gym and doing the training part. But as I started seeing some of the results and feeling them, I started to get my diet more under control. And then everything just kind of progressed to where then I met my coach from Lions Lair, Sandy Lark. I went to a posing conference with her, and I was like, I want to look like her. I saw her physique and I went physique shopping, I call it. And I hired her as my coach, and she has been there every step of the way with me. She does my menus. And then, I've got my trainer that helps me with my lifts, and like I said, everything for me takes a team. And I always encourage people, who's your board of directors? Who's your team that you're surrounding yourself, right? Those 5 people that are in your environment.
Absolutely. And even Tiger Woods, when he was at the top of his game, had a coach. Yeah. Serena and Venus Williams had more than their dad as a coach. Get yourself a coach. You're in a brand new season and era right now in 2026. It's what do you pick for 2026? Is it gratitude, love, kindness, happiness, just positivity? Lisa, you embody that all. So I want to just put this up one more time. Lisa's website, this is where you can find her. You can find her on Fit to Exist. And she is a beast on Instagram. Lisa_B_CO. So what is your last tip? Even the word of wisdom, you have so many as I put this up. And you give us that last piece of what is it for good? What it is ever it takes for good, Lisa.
Yeah. So I have 2 pieces, if that's okay. One of them is your events are not your identity. So if you've made mistakes, that's not your identity. Those are events, right? And one of my favorite quotes of all time is from Mark Twain, is the 2 greatest days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. So stepping into your purpose and walking in it is one of the most powerful ways to live life.
Yes. And you are living life large, but not your 226 pounds. And I can tell you, and I am so happy to be on the auxiliary team as you go and do your bodybuilding again this next year. So as I can say, thank you, Lisa, from the bottom of my heart for being our inaugural January on Martin Luther King Day. Yes, you had a dream, you fulfilled it. You had a dream, you built it, and more than just the bodybuilding way in all 6 pillars of living: spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, financial. Let go of those bright, shiny things. And now you're having the impact for society. So thank you, Lisa, for being my guest on this Life's Milkshake Monday. And as I always say, and each and every day, make this a great Healthopedia kind of day. What is your why? As Lisa said, what is your why that makes you cry so that you can say, I will make a difference? So we'll see you Thursday with chemist, creator, and formulator, Ron Gurley. Ciao for now.
Woman up, 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 up.